If I'm in a state where I can feel my anger rise inside of me, but I realise I'm out of harmony with love when I have this anger, so I've now got to own this anger and just go away and not express it at somebody. Because the moment I express it at somebody, I am now hooking into the entire process of what the spirits also want. Can you see? If every time I felt this anger rise inside of me towards men, for example, I decided I wasn't going to express it at a man, but instead I was going to get a punching bag and bang, bang, bang and own the emotion of anger inside of me, can you see that takes away the power of the spirits who are influencing you? Can you see that? Straight away, they're going, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that. I want you to be angry at the man, you know, not at the bag, or owning it within yourself, you see. And this is why many of us, when we're angry, we don't want to go away and own it. We want to stay where we are and project it as heavily as we can at the person who we're projecting it at, right? That's what we want. And the reason why we want to do that is because it feels inside of us that it gives us a voice for it, but in reality it's one of the most damaging things we can do, and it's also one of the things that spirits hook into the most. Because if you can either choose to work along with these spirits or to act out of harmony with them. It's up to you. That's a choice that's inside of you. My suggestion is never act in harmony with what a spirit wants you to do. Right? Now, how do I know what a spirit wants me to do? Well, any spirit, obviously, who wants me to do something that's good is okay to act in harmony with, obviously. But how do I know when it's not that kind of a spirit? Quite easily, really. If I'm in a rage or in anger, then I know straight away. I'm pulling in straight away lots of different spirits who are going to be way out of harmony with love in that place. I know that straight away. Anything I do from that moment on, justified or not, is out of harmony with love. Everything I do from that moment on is out of harmony with love. Right? If I don't allow these spirits to have a voice for their anger, then straight away, and I don't mean by me not owning it, I mean by me going and privately feeling the rage instead of publicly or with a person doing it, that's owning it for myself. If I publicly express it or express it towards a person, now I am not in a place where I'm anger at all, and I'm now in a place where I'm actually very under the control of any person in the spirit world who wants to express that anger through me. That makes sense to you? So when I'm in this space, I now give them a voice. So now a lot of what's coming out of me is not even mine. Right? And you've all been in this place at some point where you said a bunch of things to somebody in a rage and then go, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah, where did it come from? It came from a group of spirits with you who wanted to express all those things to that person because they have all those emotions. You are certainly connected to those feelings, but you've got to look at where it's come from. The fact is you gave those spirits a voice, right? Stop giving them a voice. They need to own their own emotion. You need to own yours. When you own yours by going and bashing a bag or whatever, now they don't get the voice they wanted. They don't get the means to express it to the male that they hate. Does that make sense? They don't get the means to express it to the mother they dislike or any of those things. They actually now have all of their power in the interaction is now taken away from them. Can we just go over to there and then back, the back there?
When you say something and you're projecting anger and you don't actually remember what you've said after the fact, that's often not your own words?
Of course.
Okay.
Why? You'd definitely remember what you've said, wouldn't you, if it came from you?
And there's only been one time in my life where I felt so angry that I couldn't see the person I was angry at anymore. I was almost blind rage is the only way I could describe it.
Yep.
That spirit influence as well?
Well, of course, but remember, every one of these things is a hook. We've got a hook into them. We've got a reason why we're doing this with them.
Okay.
Right? And a lot of times the reason why we're doing it is not because of the anger. That's what I was just illustrating here. The reason why Mary was doing it wasn't because of the anger, it was because of her fear of displeasing women. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if she didn't do it, what would all these women do to her? You know what they did with her for the next 45 minutes? They just projected rage at her because she refused to project rage at me. Right?
I can see why you'd want to avoid that.
Okay, so you can see why you'd want to avoid it. So if you feel that, you start wanting to project rage at the man again, then that makes everything better. It doesn't make everything better, it just makes your soul condition worse as well. But we often feel it does because we get relief from the spirit world. So if you can think of a lot of the spirits who are in a malevolent condition, they use, the old thing, the carrot and the stick, right? You know how that works, don't you? Right? You get the carrot when you do the right thing, you get the stick when you do the wrong thing. Any spirit who does that with you, out of harmony with love. Right? So if you feel relief when you do the wrong thing, you know you've got a group of spirits around you who are totally out of harmony with love. And if you feel pressure when you're doing the right thing, you beauty. I know I've got a lot of spirits around me out of harmony with love, and doing the right thing is just challenging them full on. And we're allowed to. This is a spiritual warfare you are in. And when I say a spiritual warfare, this is a battle for your soul that you're in, to be frank. Do you understand that? The battle is for your soul, you. You to be your own self, your own individual, your own desires, your own wants, your own feelings being expressed every single moment. That's the battle. And every time you hook into them, you are no longer yourself anymore. You are now being someone somebody else wants you to be. That is now out of harmony with love and truth of yourself for a start, but straight away you've lost the battle. Can you see that? Like, we're in a battle for ourselves, for our own soul, to be honest, truthful, loving all the time. And we need to understand that that's where we're at. If we could